Hi, this is Genevieve from Kent Lake's Herbaceutikals. We're right in mid-April and 4 weeks away from our last frost date here in New York. It's about time to sow seeds of fruit-bearing summer crops, but the moon is waning in the sign of Aquarius, and the cold crops are growing their third true leaves. So, it's a good time to thin those seedlings. In this video, I will show you my method of making paper pots and getting young seedlings into them. Hi! So we're back in our cold frame, and we're here with our seedlings we planted a few weeks ago. We have our lacinato kale, our bok choy, our red Russian kale, and these are turnips. We have mustard greens and arugula and cress. You know, we got our cold crops out here. It's a beautiful sunny day up here in New York. It's about, I think it was a high of like 65 degrees today, which is pretty warm for mid-April. And so now we're gonna transplant some of these into little pots, so they have a little more space to grow. And so you can see our seedlings have a few true leaves. Looks like they have about two true leaves about to get their third. So before we start this process, we're going to just water them a bit, because that always makes it a little easier to thin them out. So we're going to give them a good water. So the way I'm going to make my transplants, I'm going to make them in these, I'm going to use newspapers, because I have a lot of plants. And to use the newspapers to make a pot, depending on the size of your newspaper, you got to figure it out a little bit. But basically I can see that if I put the spray can in, I want my pot to be about this high. This is maybe 6 inches high. I'm going to have a lot more at the base, and that's a little too much to work with. So what I'm going to do is fold about a quarter of this in. Like that. I'm going to flip it. So that looks a little better. I probably could have folded a little bit more. And so this will be the pot, and this will be the base. So you just roll it around, and you stuff it. I stuff it with the, I like to use a spray can, because also the spray can has an indentation in the bottom. So you're going to fold it with where the paper meets the other side. I'm going to fold that part in first. And kind of just shove it in like that. I'm going to take my spray can out, and you see, just kind of push it in a little bit. And I got my bag of potting soil over here. I'm going to slide some potting soil in and probably fill it about halfway high, because when you go to put your seedlings in, you're going to bury the seedlings up into the first set of leaves. So the first leaves that came out, which are not the true leaves, you're going to bury those. So you don't want to fill this too high in the very beginning, just a little bit. And so I'm going to make enough pots to accommodate all of my seedlings to have their own individual pot before I start to thin them out, so that this way it's less traumatic for the plants, their roots aren't exposed for too long, and I can just put them all in their pots right away as they're thinned out, because I'll have them ready. So this is a real economical way and efficient way of potting a lot of plants at a time. And so yeah, I'm going to get started and just knock out a couple of these and plant them away. So I'll do another one just in case. So again, I'm going to fold it about a quarter of the way in. 2/3 of the way in, I'm going to fold the newspaper. I'm going to take my spray can, and with the side up, just going to wrap it real tight. And then fold the bottom parts in. You know? And again, I like to use a spray can. It has a little indentation. It makes like just the right size for a little plant to grow. There we go. I got my pot. Oops. Get some of my potting soil, and of course I use an organic potting soil blend. I'm just gonna fill it in with about a scoop of dirt. Press it down a bit, and you'll be surprised these last really long. And what's great is, you know, it's really easy to just when you're ready to unravel the paper from around the root base and plant your plant when you're ready to put it in the ground when your soil is ready in the garden. So I'm just going to do a couple more of those, and then I'll show you how I do the thinning.